Well, what's going on, guys? This is TVW slash TheVoltWithin here, and I'm going to talk about the Gears of War movie that's supposedly coming out soon, and Universal Pictures is finally doing the Gears of War movie. This was actually announced really earlier on. I just kind of missed on talking about this, and plus Gears of War wasn't really a game I was doing a few weeks ago or a month, so now that I'm actually doing Gears of War on this channel, it only makes sense that I would talk about it as I get shotgun from the back. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to get my thoughts on the movie, or what I think how it will turn out. And at the end of the day, I consider myself a film buff because I do enjoy films. I love movies all the time, and a lot of people don't know that film is actually my major, but at the same time it's not really my major because I am technically more into the post-production audio sound design stuff. But anyway, so Gears of War movie coming out. How is it gonna be, or what's it gonna be like? Is it gonna be good, or is it going to suffer along with all the other video game films that have come out and failed? Now, I really liked the recent Assassin's Creed movie with Michael Fassbender. A lot of people didn't like it, but at the same time I liked it. Just the fact that even though I'm not really aware or knowledgeable in the Assassin's Creed universe or franchise, I still liked it a lot. And a lot of people can disagree, but a lot of people who dislike the film kind of looked at it as like, oh, it didn't follow like the game, didn't follow the lore behind what Assassin's Creed is all about. But that's kind of where I say that's where you shouldn't do that, because video game films, just like with everything else, if you want to make a film based on the book, based on a comic, then you might as well just enjoy the comic instead, or the book, because movies or films are all about showing, not telling, and books are all about telling. So but with video game films, I personally am going to see it like midnight launch, or as soon as I can, right when it comes out, because I love Gears of War, and the fact that Universal Pictures is doing it, I think it's going to be amazing, because I know for a fact they are going to make it rated R, because that's how it should be, with all the gore and blood. I am really a fan of slashers when it comes to like horror films. I love Friday the 13th, probably one of my favorite slashers of all time. And yeah, like, I personally don't think it'll be that bad. And if people are looking for something like amazing, like a Christopher Nolan film or something like Interstellar, it's just, I don't know, man. Like, I enjoyed Assassin's Creed, the movie, like the recent one that came out in 2016. I didn't think it was that bad. And also, I don't even think it deserved the rating it got. I think it got like 5.7 or 5.9 on IMDb, and on Rotten Tomatoes it only got like a 43%. Don't quote me on that, but a lot of people didn't like it because they didn't. I don't know. I was just kind of reading a lot of the stuff, and it seems like a lot of people kind of get this idea that video game films are supposed to be like die-hard, just perfect, you know, that sticks to the video game. But I like how one of the creators of Gears of War, I remember him saying like he's trying to make a good Gears of War movie and not trying to cater it towards the game, like just focus on making a good movie. And I think that's a good perspective on that idea, because I mean, really, I think the main problem with all these developers is when they get partnered with a diehard studio with film, they tend to make a video game film that's just more towards the video game rather than just making a movie, because that's the challenge, I think. And I think that's kind of why Assassin's Creed did pretty well for like what it was. And for someone who's not familiar with the storyline or the lore behind Assassin's Creed, who was still able to kind of figure out what the film was about, that should kind of say something. Even my dad, like, my dad has no idea what Assassin's Creed is about, and he was able to pick up stuff that I wasn't able to pick up. Like, that should kind of tell you something. But then you run into like the whole argument like, oh, well, just because you understand something doesn't mean it necessarily makes it a good film. So that's kind of why like film kind of goes everywhere when it comes to like what makes a great film. But for me, it's like what makes a great film is all subjective. Like, it honestly is. Like, you can like freaking Gravity, and I can say like that's not my favorite film, and it's not. I hate Gravity, and I'm sorry if you love Gravity, but I just freaking hate Gravity so much. Like, everyone, I'm gonna go on a tangent right here, but everyone was overhyping Gravity, and I gave it a second chance. I saw it in IMAX, and then I saw it in 3D. Like, the only good thing about it for me was the visuals and the just like the special effects it had. Like, the basic story or like character development was lacking, and I can easily say like The Martian was a better Gravity, honestly. But many of you can disagree, but that's just kind of how I see it. But I think Gears of War is going to be awesome, and even for like Gears of War fans and non-Gears of War fans, I think are going to enjoy this film a lot. Like, because everyone loves gore at the end of the day, you know. I mean, one of the recent films that I saw that was like pretty bloody was Logan. Like, as far as the good Marvel films that I've seen, Logan is probably one of my favorite Marvel films that's ever been done, you know. And I like Marvel, but I'm more of a DC kind of guy, but I thought Logan just did a great job, like, telling the story while still showing all these dreadful, disturbing, graphical just sequences of blood and like just gore everywhere and stuff like that. And I kind of think that's what takes away from like stories about these crazy characters like Wolverine, Punisher, Spawn. I'm actually excited for the new Spawn movie that's coming out soon. That's actually going to be really interesting, and I think I'm going to talk about that in another video. But yeah, guys, if you can just leave in the comments down below what you guys think. Like, I'm really excited for the Gears of War movie, and if it sucks, I don't really think it's gonna suck. And if it does, it's just because those people are looking for something like I said, Christopher Nolan type films. But at the same time, it's all about discussion. You know, that's why I make these videos, to have conversation. So you can disagree with me, but that's just how I think. Final score, I believe, was 14-3. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next video.